Don't let the sweetness on the surface blind you sometimes. The most beautiful things can be the most toxic for your soul. In the journey to find peace and happiness, we often get drawn into relationships that seem harmless. Yet, beneath that sweet facade, there may lie a silent toxicity that erodes your mind. Stoic philosophy teaches us you cannot control others, but you can fully control how you respond to them. So how can you identify toxic women, those who may pull you away from the peace you deserve? Let's explore 6 clear signs to protect yourself and build a more serene life together. 1. She always plays the victim. If she constantly blames you, refuses to take responsibility, and believes every mistake is someone else's fault, this is a major red flag. Renowned relationship expert Dr. Les Parrott once said, "People who don't take responsibility for their actions often create unbalanced relationships where their partners are perpetually blamed and burdened with guilt." This type of person not only makes you feel pressured and exhausted, but may even force you to apologize for things you didn't do. This lack of accountability harms not just the partner but also the relationship, creating a toxic environment where balance and trust cannot thrive. There's a big difference between genuinely being a victim in certain situations and perpetually playing the victim to gain sympathy. Psychologist Dr. Susan Forward, author of the acclaimed book Toxic People, shared, "Those who play the victim often manipulate others' emotions, making their partners take responsibility for things that are not their fault." While it's possible she genuinely faces difficulties in some situations, if this behavior becomes habitual and she constantly seeks pity, it will not only drain your emotional energy but also harm her own mental health. Living with someone like this over time can sap your energy and make it challenging to maintain a balanced relationship. 2. She plays mind games. This is one of the clearest signs you can spot early on, saving you time and emotional investment. As I often emphasize, if someone is playing mind games with you, it's not only a sign of insecurity but also immaturity, and we don't have time to waste on that. Such behavior reflects inner insecurities and gives you a glimpse into the future of the relationship, which is likely to be unstable and emotionally draining rather than healthy and happy. Renowned psychologist Dr. Brené Brown explained, "Manipulative and controlling behaviors often stem from unhealed fear and hurt." This rings true in these cases, as toxic behaviors often originate from psychological wounds, insecurities, and unresolved personal issues. However, this doesn't mean the person will always remain toxic or is incapable of change. Dr. Harriet Lerner, author of The Dance of Anger, stated, "Healing old behaviors and wounds requires self-awareness and responsibility from the individual, not from others." You are not obligated to stick around to see if they change, nor are you responsible for helping them work through their issues. It's her responsibility to recognize her toxic behavior, confront it, and heal to foster healthier relationships in the future. The most important thing for you is to prioritize your mental well-being and happiness rather than trying to change someone who isn't ready to change. What do you think about playing mind games? Is it A, a major red flag? B, just a harmless test of trust? C, no big deal? Comment your answer below. 3. She turns your achievements into competition. In a healthy relationship, your success should be celebrated and shared with your partner. But when she turns your accomplishments into competition, it's a sign of imbalance and toxicity. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned psychologist, once said, "A sustainable relationship is where both partners can celebrate each other's successes without comparison or competition." If she doesn't encourage or support you and even becomes upset with your achievements, this is a cause for concern. For instance, if you get a promotion or score high on an exam, instead of congratulating you, she might act cold or upset, especially if she hasn't achieved something similar. This behavior not only makes you feel unsupported but also creates unnecessary pressure in the relationship. It often stems from insecurity or immaturity and can manifest across various aspects of life, from work and academics to personal accomplishments. When she can only feel satisfied if she is equally successful, it indicates she's more focused on her own feelings than truly valuing you. This unhealthy competition doesn't just harm the relationship but can also chip away at your confidence and energy. A truly healthy relationship won't turn your achievements into a competition but will instead be a place where you find encouragement and joy from your partner. 4. Excessive jealousy or envy. Jealousy and envy are natural human emotions, but when they become excessive, cross boundaries, or undermine trust in a relationship, they turn into major toxic issues. Psychologist Dr. Susan Krauss-Whitborn explained, jealousy can help strengthen a relationship if managed, but when it manifests as controlling, suspicious, or invasive behavior, it's a sign of deep insecurity. If your partner constantly questions your actions, checks your phone without permission, or becomes angry just because you mention another person, this behavior is far from normal. A little jealousy can sometimes seem endearing in a relationship. However, when it becomes unrestrained, leading to baseless accusations or envy-driven dissatisfaction with your success, the relationship loses its healthy foundation. For example, if you casually mention someone of the opposite sex in a story, and she immediately reacts with anger, even though you've done nothing wrong, this reflects deep insecurity. Similarly, if she feels upset or unsupportive when you achieve something significant like a career milestone, it shows a lack of respect for personal boundaries and trust. A healthy relationship thrives on trust, respect, and mutual support. When jealousy and envy spiral out of control, they not only harm the partner but also destroy the balance and security essential to a healthy connection. 5. She controls you domineeringly. Controlling behavior often goes hand in hand with jealousy and envy, creating a toxic loop in the relationship. If she tries to control you, there's a strong likelihood that she also exhibits excessive jealousy. Imagine this scenario. She insists on taking your shoes off for you after work every day, which might initially seem like a caring gesture. But the moment you do it yourself one day, she gets upset. This distorted form of care is a clear indicator of controlling behavior. Control can manifest in various ways, such as dictating who you spend time with, who you talk to, or what you do daily, even down to trivial things like how you remove your shoes. These actions rob you of personal freedom and create unnecessary stress and tension in the relationship. It's crucial to understand the difference between setting boundaries and being controlling. As psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud, author of Boundaries, stated, boundaries protect you and the relationship, while control destroys freedom and trust between partners. If she consistently tries to control you rather than establishing healthy boundaries, this is not only a sign of insecurity but also a clear marker of a toxic relationship. 6. She weaponizes money. Did she demand a Birkin bag on your first date? If yes, you might be dealing with a toxic woman. Money in a relationship is more than just a financial matter. It reflects mutual respect and intention. If she only shows interest in you when you're spending on her buying expensive items, taking her out, or financing trips, this is a red flag. As the saying goes, what you allow will continue. Be cautious if she expects you to pay for her attention or maintains the relationship solely based on financial gains. This behavior not only hurts you financially but also creates an imbalanced dynamic where you are treated as a resource rather than a partner. In long-term relationships or marriage, financial issues should be approached transparently. For example, if you've both agreed on a budget, but she secretly overspends or makes unchecked purchases without discussing them, this breaks trust and creates significant stress. A healthy relationship requires mutual respect for financial boundaries, open communication, and shared decision-making about money. Dr. Terry Orbuch, author of 5 Simple Steps to Take Your Marriage from Good to Great, emphasized, money is one of the primary sources of conflict in relationships, but clear boundaries and honest communication can help reduce this tension. If she repeatedly crosses financial boundaries, disregards agreements, or uses money as a tool for control, it's not just disrespectful, it's a hallmark of a toxic relationship. Don't hesitate to set limits to protect your mental well-being and financial stability. 7. She manipulates your emotions. One of the most subtle yet toxic signs is when she consistently manipulates your emotions to get what she wants. This behavior often involves making you feel guilty, confused, or doubtful about yourself, even when you've done nothing wrong. For instance, she might make you feel guilty for not spending enough time with her, even if you're busy with work or other responsibilities. Or she could exaggerate negative emotions, crying or getting angry, to pressure you into giving in to her demands. This form of control can be so covert that you may not notice it right away. Dr. George Simon, author of In Sheep's Clothing, Understanding and Dealing with Manipulative People, explained, emotional manipulation is a way for people to control others without overt force or violence. This behavior can lead to severe consequences in a relationship, such as diminishing your confidence and emotional freedom. If you constantly put your needs aside to appease her, or apologize for things you haven't done, it's a clear indicator of an unhealthy dynamic. A truly good relationship requires mutual respect, honesty, and support. If she manipulates your emotions to control you or dominate the relationship, this isn't love, it's toxic behavior that you need to confront carefully. 8. She puts you down to lift herself up. Another hallmark of a toxic person is when she frequently belittles you to make herself feel superior. This behavior is subtle but can deeply damage your self-esteem. She might criticize minor flaws, mock your efforts or successes, or compare you to others in a way that makes you feel inadequate. For example, she could say things like, "You'll never be as good as so-and-so," or "That's nothing special. Anyone could do it." Dr. Ramani Durvasula, a psychologist and expert in toxic relationships, shared, people who put others down often do so to mask their own insecurities and maintain a sense of control. This behavior not only undermines your confidence but can also leave you feeling stuck, gradually doubting your own worth. A healthy relationship is never a place for one person to hurt another to boost their ego. If you notice she regularly puts you down instead of encouraging and supporting you, it's a sign of an unhealthy relationship. Remember, someone who truly cares about you will lift you up and inspire you, not diminish your value to make themselves shine. 9. She disrespects your boundaries. A toxic woman often disregards your personal boundaries, whether they relate to space, time, or emotions. This might manifest as constant interference in your personal life, ignoring your needs or desires, or pushing you to your limits to get what she wants. For example, she might demand that you respond to her messages immediately, leaving you no time to focus on work or personal interests. Or she could pressure you into doing things you're uncomfortable with, even after you've clearly expressed your disagreement. Dr. Henry Cloud, author of Boundaries, emphasized boundaries are essential to protect personal space, but those who disrespect them often aim to control and manipulate you. When your boundaries are not respected, you may feel exhausted, violated, or even lose your sense of autonomy in the relationship. Someone who truly cares about you understands that respecting boundaries is not just a sign of love, but the foundation of a healthy and sustainable relationship. If she repeatedly ignores the limits you've set, this isn't just a sign of disrespect, it's an indication that the relationship might be harming you. Protecting your personal space and values is crucial, because a true partnership will always support and honor your individuality, rather than make you feel diminished. So we've explored 9 signs to identify a toxic woman. Remember, a healthy relationship is always built on respect, trust, and mutual support. If you notice any of the signs we've discussed in your relationship, take the time to reflect carefully to protect your mental health and personal values. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it." This serves as a powerful reminder that you have the right to choose how to deal with toxic relationships. Set clear boundaries and don't be afraid to walk away from people who don't bring peace into your life. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. If you found this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who might benefit from hearing this message. See you in the next video, and remember, always prioritize your peace and happiness above all else.